Hey everybody, welcome back to the Film Fan Club. My name's Sam Carrico, and I'm joined by Ricky Cicedo.
Hello.
And we're going to talk Game of Thrones, Season 5. I'll let you lead off. You're the bigger Game of Thrones fan. What did you think of the 5th season?
Disappointing, to say the least. There's always a lot of build-up for Game of Thrones. You have to wait a whole year. It's only 10 episodes. It's 10 hours to usually, a whole book's worth of a story and content. Lots of, character development and all that stuff. Season 5 decided to use 2 books at the same time, but also not use them because they decided to stray from the books as well and make original plot lines, which didn't work, in my opinion.
Use plot lines for certain characters in the books and then give them to a different character, or just make Sansa go through hell again for some reason. It's not like she was, almost married to Joffrey. But yeah, Game of Thrones Season 5, and I joined the whole fandom kind of, is that people still say that? Fandom?
Fandom.
Yes. I joined the whole fandom of GOT back in mid to late 2014, and I really, Season 1, a little bit slow at start. Once it gets rolling, fantastic. Season 2, fantastic. Season 3, fantastic. Season 4, fantastic. I would almost even say it's the pinnacle of the show. But then you get to Season 5, and it's like, different writers almost. Or just, maybe not different writers, but the writers just, it's like they lost their way. It's like you've said this before to me, it's like they're stalling for time, honestly.
Yeah. It kind of feels like it. See, yeah, everything was going really fast. Season 1 was the pickup, and Season 4 just bam, blew everything out of the park, and then everything just stopped, and it's been like having to pick up. And for some storylines, it did pick up, then dropped again suddenly.
You never really got the sense of, all right, now we're in it. Now this is cool. Like, the thing with, we're going to talk about kind of King's Landing and Dorne especially.
Right. The
whole storyline with the High Sparrow, and then the storyline with Myrcella for Jaime, and both of those just kind of set, like the episode would cut to that, and I'd just be like, okay, well, it's almost like an afterthought.
Yeah. It's like, this is also going on? Okay. Doesn't really feel important.
It's unfortunate because King's Landing used to be, I've told you this several times, my favorite parts of the whole show, all the politics, the discussions, the council, and Tywin. I get that Tywin had to die, but man, I miss that guy.
Most we got for politics was probably Daenerys. She had a small council going on for a while until everything, fell apart.
The weird thing is that they really focused on Jon Snow's storyline and at the Wall, and then also Daenerys' storyline with Tyrion. And those were kind of my least favorite parts of the season, but now they've kind of pushed them to the forefront and once you get to the Wall and finally everything starts getting interesting, a major character gets killed off, you know who it is. And then
killed off.
And then with Daenerys, it's just kind of, actually there was an interesting cliffhanger with the Dothraki, and I'm interested to see where that goes. And I loved some of my favorite parts of the season were Tyrion and Daenerys, and like you said, their politics and how they're talking about the future of Westeros, and I'm not going to change the wheel, I'm going to break the wheel.
That was one of the best scenes, not only of Season 5, the whole show.
Yeah.
2 huge characters, meeting and talking about, everything as a whole was just...
And that's probably why I feel so upset, because it was very unbalanced. Whereas you were raving about the Wall storyline and the Daenerys storyline with Tyrion, we're kind of, I don't really care for the other, 3 storylines with
King's Landing,
Dorne.
Well, there's also Arya. There's Arya, Sansa.
Arya's good.
And then Dorne. What else was there?
I think that was it.
That's pretty much it.
The Sansa, Dorne, and then King's Landing storylines all just completely fell apart this season. Don't get me started on Sansa. I don't know why she needed to go through any of that other than... And it kind of... They really did something that Game of Thrones is known to do, but just it irks me a little bit every time it happens.
Right.
Sansa's rape was entirely to motivate Theon. It wasn't...
Yeah.
And that's just unfortunate. That's what she has to get reduced to.
I read somewhere an article where it was to motivate Sansa, like this had to happen to motivate Sansa that to escape, that she needed to know that Ramsay was evil. She could clearly just look around. As soon
as she says that she sees her that person who's like, I'm going to help you out, and then Ramsay kills her. I don't remember if that was before or after the rape, But that could have been it. That could have been, okay, it's motivation time, you need to get out of here. And they just, I think they were going for the shock factor. They wanted it to be Game of Thrones. Oh my God, I can't believe that just happened. But it worked. You need to use it sparingly and only on situations that work for the audience. And you can't just piss them off.
Yeah.
I was a little pissed off, and I think a lot of people agree.
Yeah, there was definitely, I get maybe she needed Theon's help to get out of there because, it'd be hard. But it was completely unnecessary. We get the messages. Theon knows Ramsay's evil. Theon actively, tries to help Sansa, but it just, I guess the rape had to happen.
Now, had to. Now, as for the wall, we saw this coming the whole season. I don't know if you really picked up on it, but they kept showing, what is his name, Ollie?
Ollie.
And they kept showing him in certain scenes where they're discussing the wildlings, they're discussing the future of the wall, what's going to happen. The camera kept like holding on him for a while. So you just kind of think, they're going to do something. What are they going to do? What's Ollie going to do? I thought he was going to like butcher some wildlings or something, but
turns out he's Brutus and Jon is Caesar.
Yeah. He is Brutus to Jon Caesar, just like you said. You too, Ollie. But anyways, what do you think of that? What do you think of Jon Snow's whole death and the way it was handled in the future going forward?
Right. I think it was handled well. I mean, there were some minor complaints. Obviously, I feel like if Jon Snow had described maybe he did, but I wanted to see him talk about what happened at Hardhome. I feel like if the rest of the Brothers in Black knew, the extent of the White Walkers' danger,
they're all screwed now, basically.
Yeah. Then they should have been able to realize Jon was a leader that they needed. The Wildlings realized that. That's why they sided with Jon at the end of Hardhome, also because they were being attacked and slaughtered. Yeah. But
got a bunch of whites coming at you. You're gonna go with the leader.
So I mean, I get they have generations worth of hatred towards the Wildlings, and Jon's just out of nowhere decides, hey, let them pass through the wall, it doesn't matter. I guess that's a reason to be pissed, but the White Walkers are coming. It's an unavoidable situation. So.
And another thing I just now thought of, kind of talks about the future of Game of Thrones, and they had it kind of hinted at it again throughout the whole season, was the Mountain's return. And he comes back, he's got purple eyes or something, he just looks terrible, and he's taking a vow of man. I feel bad for the people who are going up against the Lannisters next season, because once you got a dead giant zombie with you, and Cersei, she's pissed. She's, after spending half a season in freaking jail, and she's Cersei Lannister. She's want to take out revenge, and now she's got a person whose sole dedication is to taking out her enemies. Man.
And we talked about how King's Landing was pretty choppy for most of the season, but it had a good ending.
The ending was great. Game of Thrones never ceases to make you want to come back for more, even in a season that was not stellar. But what is stellar, though, is the possibilities that we have with Jon Snow going forward. And I think you have a little bit on that right there. So you want to get into that?
If you have read anything about Game of Thrones online, then you have read theories.
The Ice Dragon.
Yeah. Jon Snow is the Ice Dragon. There's a book. No.
Anyways.
Melisandre, the Red Priestess that served Stannis, she's gonna bring him back. She's bringing back Jon Snow.
Oh yeah, she shows up right in that episode, right? The finale. So
just conveniently, she doesn't say anything. They just see her and she walks away. Scene after that, Jon dies. You know why? The sacrifice. I have a theory. Pretty sure it's a common theory.
Have you heard that? Yeah.
The Shireen's sacrifice. It was for Jon Snow to come back. Because obviously it couldn't save Stannis' hide.
She did see Bolton banners burning, but she didn't see Stannis burning them.
When were the Bolton banners burning?
When
Episode 9 of Season 6?
Oh, talk about a segue. Which, speaking of which, he has a little article here with some theories. Bam. Go ahead.
So yeah, there's been speculation, rumors, pictures, photographs.
Pictures of him filming it, but speculation.
So, a huge battle, episode 9, supposedly taking place between the Umbers, which is where, if you look back on season 3, episode 9, Rickon was sent to the Umbers with Osha, the wildling. And the Umbers have always been super loyal to the Starks. They're a huge house in the north. So season 6, hopefully we'll see them, arise in defiance to the Boltons, which will result in a big battle between the Umbers and the Boltons. And Sansa, if she has any logic left, depending on the writers.
Or she didn't break her legs
right.
whenever she jumped off that giant wall.
Yeah,
but
I'm hoping she makes her way to the Umbers as well, and decides, you know what, I've had enough. I'm gonna decide to take back the North for the Starks. Follow in Robb's footsteps, except, don't break any oaths to Walder Frey.
Of course.
Which I've also heard that Frey's making a comeback in season 6, so
I
want to
see that guy die so badly. Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Probably.
Oh, I hope he dies. I'd be happy if even if Ramsay killed him.
Yeah. And apparently, the Wildlings and Jon Snow might even be involved in this big battle, which would be huge for Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
If Jon's been, his own people from the Night's Watch killed him, logically he'd return to the Wildlings and say, you know what, let's just do this. He's going to convince them to join the Northmen, which they share, bloodlines. As they said, the Wildlings just happened to be on the north side of the wall when it was made.
That makes sense, yeah.
Yeah, so if they come together, take back the North, that'd be a great plot line, one that I've been dying to see. What do you think?
About Jon Snow coming back, I think it's inevitable. He's been seen. Not only as being originally when I heard it,
funeral.
He was at the funeral. I guess they could film his dead body, but honestly, he would not be on set for more than a week tops if they were filming his dead body. But he's been, what I've heard, he's been there for the majority of the shoot of season 5 or season 6, right? Yeah. So he's gonna be. Apparently, his corpse is going to be in every episode, just deteriorating in the background constantly.
By the way, he's still dead. He's still dead.
Yeah, but how come he didn't come? This is kind of off topic, but how come he didn't become a White Walker at the end of?
Why did he not become a White Walker? Because he was on the south side of the wall.
Fair enough. And now this is another thing. Or is Daenerys going to get to? Is she going to actually do anything in season 6?
I don't know.
I hope so.
The books, they've caught up. They've caught up with Jon Snow, Daenerys.
Haven't they gotten a little bit further than where Daenerys is in that book?
No,
book too?
They actually ended right where she ended.
Okay.
So that's why I'm also very excited to see what happens, because I've been speculating. There's people that think the Dothraki. Sorry, I was thinking Dothraki horde could be bad for her or good for her. She's going to have to convince them somehow. Yeah.
Because they're not just going to, first episode of season 6 isn't just going to be her corpse on the ground, like an empty field.
It's going to take convincing.
Drogon's just nudging it.
I feel like they're not just going to, welcome her with open arms, because she did kind of step over, the lines of power.
We spend all of season 6, it's just constantly her just trying to, okay, so will you help me? And it's
no.
That's the one scene you get
episode 5,
times.
Maybe. What's in it for us? King's Landing.
I would pull some crap like that. We haven't seen, I don't know. We've seen Daenerys get from point A to point B to point C, but man, I'm ready for her to get to point Z and just sit on the Iron Throne already.
But that's the thing. That's the ultimate end game. Well, right before the end game. The end game obviously is the White Walkers. Daenerys is going to come to Westeros. I feel like the White Walkers are already going to have claimed some bodies.
That'll be interesting. Yeah, by the time she gets to Westeros, it's a White Walker ridden.
Yeah.
Maybe not White Walker ridden, but they have set up sanctions in there, so it's more of a struggle than just getting this one person from top of power.
Because remember, season 2, she had this vision where she was walking in the throne room, which already had, collapsed. Everything was
that's true.
Fallen to pieces, and there was snow. So
that's true.
Her dragons could have done the damage.
But the snow.
Yeah, that's.
Winter is coming. Now that's memorable.
Yeah.
I love Grandma Tyrell.
Yeah.
Did she die?
She's not dead.
She's not dead. Is she going to? I don't know. We'll see in season 6. I hope so. At the same time, I hope not. She's such a fun character.
She is.
Even in season 5 that much?
She was in about 3 scenes.
See, it ties into this video.
Yeah, growing strong.
Growing strong. Oh yeah, that's their thing. Yeah, she was complaining about that. Was one of my favorite scenes with her. She's just come on, we need a better motto, guys.
Yeah, she was saying her toilet had flowers embroidered on it.
I love Grandma Tyrell.
Yeah.
She's awesome. Is Marjorie gonna get?
Where's Marjorie at?
Is she gonna get released for? Let's see how we tied it back in.
I don't know. Marjorie and Loras. The actor that plays Loras Tyrell, actually, he's been saying he has huge scenes, very important, and he's saying that it's gonna get good, which hopefully.
I hope so.
Hopefully.
I want to see. I like those
his
two
character.
characters. Yeah, they both need to come back for more. And honestly, that was one of the downfalls of season 5 is seeing a character. I get it's character development. I get this is just a different side of her. But part of my favorite things was seeing Cersei and Marjorie at the top of their game, being badasses, doing cool stuff. And then now it's just they're not even in the scene anymore. It's like, oh, where are they? Oh, they're in prison.
Were not in the finale.
Not in the finale. Interesting. Well, Cersei was. Loras and Marjorie. That's right. They haven't. Were they even in the 8th, 9th episode? I haven't seen them for a while. It felt like, but
episode 8.
I
maybe.
don't know. Anyways, I think. Do you have any other thoughts that you want to get out there in the open?
Let's go across some key points that happened in season 5. I think the first big one was I don't know how familiar you were with him, but the king of the wildlings. What was his name?
Gosh, you wore the mask, right?
No.
Oh, really? They wasn't out with the mask?
That was like his right-hand man. That's the Lord of Bones. In the first episode, remember at the end, they set him on fire.
Yeah, him. Yeah, Mance Rayder.
Mance Rayder. There you go. You remembered it.
I watched Game of Thrones.
So Mance Rayder was killed. In the books, he's still alive. What happened in the books was that he swapped places with someone. I'm not sure exactly how they would have done it on the show, but there was someone that looked like him, switched clothes, they killed that guy. And they said it was Mance Rayder. He escapes and somehow ends up in Winterfell with the Boltons.
Captive. Is he he's captive of the Boltons?
Captive.
Okay.
But I'm pretty sure he escaped us.
The thing that pissed me off the most is season 6. You see Ramsay signing a deal with the wildlings. It's like, all right, hey, you're part of my army now.
Oh my gosh.
I'd be so pissed.
That would be terrible.
Yeah, because then what are you gonna do? I don't know. Get some dragons to kill him? I don't know. Can dragons kill White Walkers? Can they just burn them up and kill them?
Yeah, that's the thing. That's what I think they're trying to hint at that because they had the Valyrian swords, which are forged with dragon fire.
Yeah.
And supposedly where Stannis was from, Dragonstone, he has hundreds of them. Hundreds of
Valyrian swords?
Valyrian swords, Valyrian steel.
Lots of it.
Yeah. So
got a lot of adamantium.
Yes, supposed to help with
crossover.
White Walkers, yes. And so dragons, obviously, if they just blew their dragon fire onto the White Walkers, I'm assuming you would destroy them immediately.
Be cool to see. I can't wait for that season 8 finale where they all just get blown to smithereens. Now, actually, I bet that all of season 8 is probably just going to be one big series finale over the course of 10 episodes.
I hope so.
Because by the time they gotta gotta be writing a mile a minute. All right, then this happens. Then Daenerys comes back, and then the White Walkers are killed. And then because, gosh,
who's going to be on the throne?
Game of Thrones is a slow burn, guys.
Tommen's going to be on the throne. No. Sir Pounce.
Tommen's
gonna die at some point to fulfill, Cersei's prophecy.
Who's the next in line?
Get
the cat. Come on, Sir Pounce.
Or is it Gendry?
Where is he?
Where's Gendry?
Anyway, you said some other key points to go over?
Right. What else was there? What did you think of Brienne's story intersecting with Sansa's?
Sansa's? Classic Game of Thrones. She looks away for 2 seconds after having been there for days. And the light's on, right like that. It's like, gosh. And then, but I love that she was actually able to kill the person responsible for...
Renly.
Yeah, I wish that she would have gotten it in writing, though. Cause she doesn't have an iPhone. She can't just whip it out and say, you did it. I did it. Okay.
Yeah.
Everyone's still going to think she's crazy and then just killed Stannis because she's crazy. But I don't know.
That was a great scene.
It was a fantastic scene. It really was true to Stannis' character, how he's not, a lesser writer would have made him start crying. Right. Like, what have I done? But really,
Go on, do your duty.
I love that. He's by the books till the end. And
sad to see him go. Or did he?
Yes.
Probably.
He's not Jon Snow, guys. Not every scene. We're not going to have an entire season 6 filled with just hey, this guy's back, this guy's back, this guy's back.
What if they did?
Catelyn might come back in season 6. I can't wait for that. I haven't read the books. I know what happened. I don't know what happens in the books, but I have some hints of what her character's like. I can't wait. That just sounds so cool. She's not a White Walker, though, is she?
No.
She's just a zombie, a different kind of zombie, right?
Yeah.
You want to explain that a little bit, what you know?
Yeah, the Brotherhood without banners. Sorry, Brotherhood without banners. Beric Dondarrion, he was resurrected 6 times, and they showed it on the show. You know, all these different scars that he had. They don't go away. The scars, they stay. So
is that kind of what she's gonna be like?
Yes.
Okay.
He in the books he finds her by the river. Because she gets her throat slit, she gets thrown into the river naked.
Gosh,
per se.
Did they show that, or did they just kind of just? Oh no, that's the last thing you see, right? Is in that
throat being slit.
And then you don't actually see them, because that'd just be come on, guys.
Sucks.
It was bad enough. Like saying, I really kind of hope they would. I really wanted them to emphasize the whole Rob wearing the
wolf's head.
Because originally, didn't they like throw it on like a throne or something, and like he was because I saw a drawing on the internet.
He was,
it was like
stitched
sitting,
on the body. Yeah.
Game of Thrones, man, can be pretty intense sometimes.
Right. So Beric Dondarrion and Thorismir, they find Catelyn's body, and Beric decides to sacrifice himself and use the Lord of Light's power to bring Catelyn back, because he's thinking she could, be a key component for the North, and just in general wreak some havoc on the Freys and Boltons, who screwed them over immensely. And she spends her time after she's resurrected. She takes control of the Brotherhood without banners, and murders a lot of Freys. So that'd be great to see.
Yeah, I would be great to see. She doesn't talk, but she remembers, or something like that.
That's right.
The quote from the books. That's pretty cool. And in the timeline of the show, where they are in the show, is she involved in that section in the books? Like if they had followed the books 100%, would she have been in season 5?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Would she have had a prominent arc?
It's not a huge arc, but she does tie in with Brienne.
Yeah. So in season 6, you're saying if she comes back, Brienne better watch out?
Yes. Watch out, or watch closely.
Ooh. And you have anything else before we sign off?
Hard Home was amazing.
Hard Home was amazing. Best of the season, honestly. And I remember telling you after I watched that, because I was going to watch the other ones another night, I was like, man, I can't wait for that finale.
Don't get your hopes up, Sam.
Yeah.
The dragon in the arena was cool.
Yeah, that's cool. For a second.
It was just kind of awkward seeing, because the scene right before that was Stannis, of course, sacrificing Shireen, and it was heartbreaking.
Oh, gosh.
It was very bad, hard to watch. And then right after that, it's like, oh, okay, well, we gotta be happy for Daenerys' scene.
We were talking about child actors earlier today, and man, did they cast Shireen well. Like
those screams.
Gosh, that's sad. I'm so glad they didn't show it, but it's almost. Oh, they didn't actually show her burning, but like that, but almost happening off screen, and just the close up on Stannis' face. Because did you see the picture I sent you? It was like Rihanna, and it was like just gonna stand there and watch me burn, and it had Stannis. He's like, yes, that was great.
He has a great frown.
Stannis love that frown. But anyways, I think that's all we have to go off of. Season 5 was pretty mixed. What would you give it out of 10?
6.
I agree, also a 6. That was pretty easy. So you can catch us. We do lots of other stuff. We try and every other week we do a cinema chat show where we just talk about movie news and reviews and etc. We're going to do a spoiler review of Black Mass hopefully soon after I see it. And then he's going to do, starting in April, if I can convince him, he's going to do weekly Game of Thrones reviews. Patent pending, or not
Hope
patent
so.
pending. Schedule to be determined. And I'm going to try and do a Doctor Who Season 8 review at some point, because I saw that recently. And just be on the lookout for lots of videos. So subscribe and like and tell your friends. Thanks.
Have an excellent
watch
evening.
Game of Thrones. Winter's coming.
Yeah. Farewell.